Hello students, all is well. Till now, we have learnt the different types of asexual reproduction in plants like vegetative propagation, fragmentation, budding and spore formation. Now, is there any other method of reproduction adopted by plants? Yes, there is. We know some plants are capable of sexual reproduction as well. So, do plants possess any special features for this? Yes, plants possess flowers. Flowers are the reproductive structure of the plants. In a flower, the male sex organ is called as the stamen and the female sex organ is called the pistil. But how does the process of sexual reproduction occur? Let's learn about it. But before that, let's understand about a typical structure of flower. You can see on screen, this is a typical structure of a flower. It appears mainly like this. A flower has mainly two components. Every flower is composed of two parts. They are essential parts and non-essential parts. The parts of the flowers such as the stamen and the pistil, which are the reproductive parts, are the essential parts. Their function says it all. These are essential because they directly involve in the process of reproduction. If these structures are not present, then the plant is not able to reproduce. The other parts are floral parts such as petals and sepals. These are the non-essential parts of the flower because they do not take part in reproduction directly and therefore are called as non-essential parts. Now let's discuss each part in detail. Begin with stamen. It is the male part. It has two distinct parts, anther and the filament. The part anther bears minute round bodies called pollen grains. This plays an active role in reproduction. There is a specific process by which pollen grains are transferred from the anther to the female part of the same or different flower. Now, what is the female part? It is the pistil. The pistil has three distinct subparts. They are stigma, second one is style, and last one is ovary. Each structure has specific function. The part called stigma is the landing place for the pollens. Pollens from the male part anther land on the stigma and germinate further. This process is called as pollination in plants. The style is a slender stalk which holds the stigma in position and connects the ovary. The ovary is a swollen basal part of the pistil which contains ovules. Ovules are the female gametes which germinate and forms a zygote. In sexual reproduction, a male and female gametes fuse to form a zygote. So now we have learnt about sexual reproduction in plants. The flowers bears the male and female parts. The male part stamen contains the male gamete, whereas the female part, the pistil, contains female gametes. Fusion of the two gives rise the zygote. The zygote develops into an embryo. Now let's learn how this process occurs. But before that, I want to ask you one thing. Do all the flower bears both the reproductive parts together? Some of them do. Flowers which bear both the stamen and pistil together are called as bisexual flowers. For example, rose, China rose, etc. But some flowers do not contain both the parts. Some flowers which contain either male or female part are called as unisexual flowers. For example, pumpkin. Now, getting back to the process, the first step of pollination. It is the process in which pollen grains are transferred to the female reproductive organ of a plant. Pollination occurs between the flowers belonging to the same type. Now let's learn about type of pollination. The type in which pollination occurs between the flowers born on same plant is called as self-pollination, and another type is cross-pollination, in which the pollens travel from the anther to the stigma of a different flower of another plant. Now, pollination occurs through different agents. Agents such as wind and water are abiotic agents. On the other hand, biotic agents such as bees, bats, moths, and birds also help in this process. Now, take a look at these agents one by one. First one is pollination by wind. Blowing wind carries pollens from the anthers of one flower to the stigma of another flower. Some examples in which wind pollination takes place are grasses like cereal plants, wheat, paddy, corn, sugarcane, etc. Second is pollination by water. It takes place in aquatic plants like hydrilla. Pollen grains released from mature anthers rise to float on the surface of the water, and they are carried to projecting stigma from the female flower through water current. Third one is pollination by animals or insects. Most flowers which are colorful, fragrant, and with nectar are insect pollinated. In addition, birds and other animals including man help pollination, example rose and sunflower. Fourth one is pollination by birds and animals. Birds visit flowers in search for insects and nectar as their food, and they carry pollens on their beaks to the other flowers. Man and animals pollinate flowers when they move along the plants, rubbing their body against the flowers. Now let us see what exactly happens after pollination. The next most important step is fertilization. Fertilization is the process of fusion of male and female gametes to give rise to an embryo. Before understanding this process, let's understand the terms which are new for us. Firstly, let's get to know what gametes are. Gametes are specialized cells which serve the function of reproduction. We find these cells in organisms which carry out sexual reproduction. Gametes are different in males and females, and sexual reproduction is where both the male and female gametes will unite to give an individual zygote. Zygote is a single-celled structure formed when the fusion of male and female gametes. This single cell further develops into an embryo. An embryo is a structure that further develops into an organism. So, gametes are the special cells called sex cells present in organisms that participates in sexual reproduction. These were few terms that we had to know. Students, take a screenshot of this slide for your better understanding and to memorize later. Now, let's get back to fertilization process in plants. Let's define it again. What is fertilization means? It is the process of fusion of male and female gametes to give rise to an embryo. After pollination is successfully accomplished, how does fertilization occurs in plants? Let's zoom into the structure of a typical pistil, a female reproductive part of the flower. The pollination process has caused the pollen grains to safely land on the stigma, which is seen here. You can see on the screen. For fertilization to occur, male gametes need to reach the lower part of the pistil called the ovary, where the female gametes await it. The female gamete on the egg cell is present inside the ovary. To form a zygote, the female gamete has to fuse with the male gamete. It is made possible by a structure called as pollen tube. This tube is formed from the pollen grain itself. You can see the pollen tube which is pink in color. The tube travels down the complete style and ultimately reaches the ovary. The tube carries along the male gamete that is safely taken to the ovary. Now, once the gamete reaches the ovary, the two fuse giving rise to the formation of a single cell. This is the zygote, and the zygote will further develop into an embryo. Zygote formation in a plant makes the completion of fertilization. Okay students, we'll meet in next session with the topic fruits and seed formation. Good